What's up, guys? It's Sean here at National Sports Entertainment, and I just wanted to go into some of today's games and then also go into tomorrow as well for baseball and basketball. So we did pretty good. We got our second leg of the Yankees, which was the most important. Like I said, with those lines and that mustache, they weren't losing. And we got Boston, which was nice. So our other first leg was the Lakers-Warriors. And I thought, and obviously the game's still in play, but at this point I feel like they'll give the Lakers a run, but they're not going to put it within 6. They'll probably put it maybe within 15, but that's about it. Anyway, I think I'm starting, like I said, I didn't really follow too much of the offseason, but I do think I'm getting already an idea on the narratives with NBA versus NFL. NFL, they seem to reset the narrative each year, so you will have the same type of players and the teams will have the same type of vibe to them, but there's a lot of changes. Whereas the NBA, they basically continue where they left off with these narratives. So the narratives were that we had basically the Washington Generals versus the Harlem Globetrotters. You know, a bunch of goofy misfits that, even though they're supposed to be good, and the Generals aren't really supposed to be good, but the Lakers are, they play like a bunch of clowns. And then the team that has the chemistry, the team that works together, that, the brothers, that nothing is going to get in their way when they have a goal in mind. And then Steph Curry is like the poster child of a coach. That's basically how these teams are depicted. The Lakers are the clowns, and the Warriors are just the face of the league. So knowing that, it does make future picks a lot easier. Like I said, I thought they might have changed it around a little bit. Got the Lakers going. Kind of showed what they can do as a strong team. But I honestly think now LeBron might be getting a penance until his son gets into the league. I had a theory he was going to miss the playoffs both years until Bronny came into the league, and then he'd win the finals with him. And I'm not saying based off one game that's going to happen, but they do like to show a lot of their cards on opening night just to kind of give people an idea. So not that they won't make a late season run or something, and not that they won't even come back to make this game somewhat competitive, but you can just tell by how they're playing so individually, and they don't even seem to be caring. There's a little you have the animation by Patrick Beverley. That's probably the only reason they got him, honestly, for somebody to act for them. But I think the narrative is the Warriors will be the red herring that everyone thinks is going to win because they're going to play like this all year, and the Lakers are just going to be a bunch of goofballs. Now, Boston was nice. Again, I don't know too much about the narratives. I didn't think they were going to have a team that has no market, really. Again, Boston, the only market here left is for the Celtics. You got no Red Sox going on. You got Bruins, and then you got the Patriots aren't doing much. So, whereas Philly's killing it, Bill Russell just died. To me, it just made sense Boston wins this game. Honestly, I'm not saying that means they do awesome this season. It's just how I felt about this game. Now, what I wanted to go into is narratives, because there's a game coming up that has some great narratives around it. And this is the game I am going to be betting my leg 2 on for this Lakers game. And it's just, again, it's because to me it has the narratives. They started the narratives yesterday. They didn't start them. They started in the playoffs, but they brought up how a particular individual humiliated a bunch of cocky players, and I really do think that they're going to continue this narrative that Luka is going basically what Trae Young's done to the New York Knicks. I think the joke is going to be that Luka does that to the Suns. Don't forget, this is all about marketability. I think the Suns was a failed project. I honestly do. I don't think they're going to be anywhere near as good as last year. Not because of the game, but because of the script. This is Doncic's 5th year. It's about when LeBron really entered his prime. And I just really think that Luka continues to destroy the Suns. I think that's a hilarious narrative. Listening to Nick Wright talk about it last year in the playoffs was by far the funniest thing in the entire league. He's a big Luka guy, and the other analysts were basically just saying that Luka had no chance. And then obviously, as I'm sure you guys remember the gifs of them laughing at Luka and Luka coming back, and of course that whole thing was scripted. But I think they continue that script with Luka coming back on the Suns. Now that being said, I'm always going to take in basketball, and not always, but 99% of the time I'm going to take points over straight up, and I do think at the very least, if Luka is not to continue to dominate the Suns, I certainly don't see the Suns dominating the Mavericks. I think they'll cover that 4.5. So this is the second one of our Lakers game. So it's going to be the 150. And we have quite a few outstanding as it is. But I looked at this narrative, and when I watched the playoffs last year, I saw it developing, and I thought it was pretty funny. Even though, it's rigged, it's just funny watching some of this stuff, especially watching the host, the anchors and such, debate about it. Watching them debate Luka and the Suns and Nick Wright, just that guy should be in wrestling because he's hilarious. So yeah, I think that they continue that narrative of Luka dominating the Suns there. And then, of course, we have baseball. For baseball, I do think that, like I said, the Phillies are going to win the series. I didn't pick game one on purpose because while I believe the Phillies are going to win the series, I don't think it's going to be a sweep. I think they want to. Now, it has been interesting. The Phillies have ran through most of the teams in the West, so there is a good chance that I suppose that it could be another sweep. But I'm just going to go ahead and I bet that the Padres don't get swept here. We're going to do this one at 20. 24 to 20. We're not going to do 25 because with now we got three different sports going. We don't want to have too many outstanding wagers. But yeah, I believe the Phillies win the series. I just don't think they sweep the Padres. And I have the same logic here, Yankees-Stros. Only I think there's a slightly better chance the Yankees do sweep the Astros. Because as I said before, I think the Astros are going from pennants to pennants. I think they went from cheating to win a pennant to not paying pennants. And we can play that game based off how the Phillies-Padres goes. But I just wanted everyone to see my picks and who I was going with. So I do like Luka for leg 2 of our NBA games. And I'll be reserving leg 3 for a team that starts off, say, 0-2, 0-3 against the spread. That's a good metric to use in the beginning because, again, it just doesn't happen where a team doesn't win or lose against the spread. So that's basically it. ESPN's not up. That's why I'm not able to really go there. All I can go to is NBA. But I do like Luka, like I said, to come back on the Suns and do a pretty good job. And I'll go into the earlier games as well. I just wanted to cover Luka because Luka is the game that I'm going to be doing my second leg on. I think that's who they're really getting behind as the face of the league. He has international appeal. So to me, it just makes sense that at the least he's going to keep it close here. They might not want to embarrass the Suns again, but honestly, I don't think they care. Chris Paul's on his way out. You see what's going on with Aaron Rodgers. There's a good chance that, like LeBron over here, you get old. They don't care if you look embarrassed. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just embarrass the Suns this year. There's a lot of other interesting matchups, obviously, where it's either like some kind of grudge match like we got with, who was it? Someone's Chicago and Miami. You got Jimmy Butler playing Chicago. So you got some interesting games, and I'll go into them. And I want to go into the lines more, but see which ones look like traps. Like if a certain team is giving X amount of points, obviously. Sometimes it seems like a trap. But yeah, I wanted to go into today. I thought we did good. We hit our leg 2 on the Yankees. Finaled that one out. We were able to hit the Celtics. Oh yeah, I started a new sequence here, just so it's easier for people. So this one would be a win, obviously, and this one, and leg 2 would be Dallas plus 4.5. So if you haven't seen this before, this is essentially how the system works. And then this one's gonna be 52 to 150. So that's going to be leg 2, and what we do is for leg 3 and then sometimes leg 4, I like to really reserve them for teams that I believe. For example, say the Sixers lose against the spread tomorrow or Thursday, whenever they play the game next, then I would like to reserve my next leg for them to win the next game against the spread, because they're not. I don't think many of these playoff teams are going to start off 0-3 against the spread. So that's essentially it. Like I said, there wasn't a lot going on with basketball. To me, the narrative today was pretty much the same as last year. Nothing really changed. So I didn't notice anything with these games that I can say, oh, they're really trying to push this guy, or they're really trying to make this. They didn't. Patrick Beverley's the same Patrick Beverley. The Lakers are playing exactly like the Lakers, and the Warriors are playing exactly like the Warriors. That's the reason I think we're going to have Dallas and Phoenix play basically how we would expect. They don't seem to be changing too much. Maybe the script's working, unlike the NFL where it wasn't working as well, and they had to change a bunch of things. But yeah, that's basically it. I'll go into the Thursday game. There is a college game. It's honestly going to probably be complete. There's no narrative with the game. The game is all going to be where the public money is, because it's two shitty teams. It's Appalachian State and Georgia State or something. So I'll look into it. At a glance, I liked Appalachian State to cover, but I'm going to look more into that one. But I wanted to get out my lock, if you'll call it, my second leg of this only outstanding wager that we have that the Lakers probably aren't going to cover, which is I have Dallas plus 4.5. And then I do like I said, the Padres to win Game 2. If not, I'm going to double up on them to win Game 3. I don't think they get swept. And I'll have a video out tomorrow going more into the baseball. I'm going to stay away from Game 1 of the Yankees-Astros. If I do wind up betting it, I'll let you guys know. I'd probably go with the Yankees for the odds, and because of my theory that they might embarrass the Astros for cheating, and they actually cheated against the Yankees, so it would make sense. But yeah, so hopefully you guys had a good day, and who knows, maybe the Lakers come back. I just thought I'd get this out before I went to sleep, and that way you had it in time tomorrow to make whatever wagers you needed to. Take care, everybody, and happy earnings.